Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another Inside Lowell podcast as we get set to go inside the Pirates. I am your host, Teddy Panos, coming to you from the WellPoint Studios here in downtown Lowell. Unicare is now WellPoint, new name, same commitment to Massachusetts and to its members. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. And we thank our friends at WellPoint for helping to make this podcast, all of our Inside Lowell podcasts, possible, along with all of our podcast sponsors, including the Washington Savings Bank. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. TMI Properties, value and quality at every price point. That's TMI. Boston North Company, business solutions for restaurant and retail. Mahoney Oil, providing warmth and protection since 1925. Francis E. Preventure Insurance, the agency Greater Lowell has counted on for more than 41 years. And last, but certainly not least, the Massachusetts Pirates, bringing all the hard-hitting action and excitement of arena football to the Mill City. And with that, I want to bring in the owner, the president, general manager of the Massachusetts Pirates. He was actually the first guest we had on our Inside the Pirates podcast, and he's joining us from his luxurious and spacious hotel room in Green Bay, Wisconsin this morning. How are you, Jawad Yatim? Thanks for being here.
Oh, no, thank you for having me as always. We've appreciated, all the coverage throughout the season and all the conversations you've had with our guys. And, it's great to be back on here. It seemed like yesterday, I was sitting in that office in Lowell and getting the first interview done. And then now, we're, still competing for a championship. So, it's exciting and, happy to talk about it.
Yeah, we're excited here. It's been great for us here as well at Inside Lowell, and I certainly hope for our audience to get to meet you and the players and everything that goes into it. I mean, some really great young men that you have playing for you guys, and very successful now. Here you are. You're in Green Bay because you are there for the conference championship game. Your goal, as you stated when we chatted way back, was, hey, you want to compete for a title every year, and here you are. You are 2 wins away from actually accomplishing that ultimate goal. But man, it's been a weird ride, right? You guys got off to a roaring start, 4-0, and then you kind of hit a lull before clinching that playoff berth, and then it seemed like you just tried to get healthy getting into the playoffs. Talk a little bit about that roller coaster ride, both on the field, but also as you kind of get acclimated to a brand new city in your first year here in Lowell.
Yeah, and I think that's a key point, and I think that's a point that kind of gets overshadowed a little bit, is that, part of this journey this year has been really being involved in a situation that we're all pretty much unfamiliar with. Just being in a whole new city, working with new partners and in a new arena and, guys living in a new place and everything like that. So it's definitely, made things, I guess it's altered, the operation and just the day to day and the flow and everything like that. So, it took us a little time to get accustomed to it, but, we've been able to, we've been able to hone in and, execute, and then some days are easier than others, but yeah, I mean, that's certainly an aspect of 2024 that does play a role, but is something that we've been able to, deal with and just continue to work through. And as time goes, things get more developed, and we've had some wonderful partners this year, that have helped us get to this point. There's no doubt about it. Complete game physical therapy. They've really, done a great job in keeping our guys healthy, along with our internal medical team. Kim and Lisa, have really taken that by the wings. And, one of the most important things, a team, needs when trying to compete for a championship and ultimately hopefully winning one is, to be healthy. And it's not always the best team that wins. I'd say it's, that combined with, the healthiest team, because it doesn't matter how good your players are. If they're not in uniform out there playing, then they're no good, in terms of achieving that specific goal. that year. Omniprint has been absolutely wonderful, in regard to, just our merchandise and uniform branding and helping us with, different sponsors and everything. I mean, we've certainly pushed in all the work over there, and then she's just been, such a treat to work with, and, the House of Athletes, and that's where our guys go to work out and stay in shape, and they've been wonderful. And, Evolved Health Chiropractic, they've been wonderful, and executive crowd therapy over there. I believe in Chelmsford, and yeah, I mean, all our food partners have been wonderful. Everybody, you guys providing coverage, helping us out. So certainly want to thank everybody, because everybody plays a role, whether you think you do or not. You do play a role in all this, so we certainly appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, it's been, certainly a roller coaster. I mean, we started hot, and it's a talented group this year, but we can certainly be immature at times. And I think that immaturity kicked in, when we were 4-0, and we, our players, they got a little too comfortable, and they thought it would, that things were going to be a little too easy. We kind of hit a tough patch in our schedule where, reality set in, and then, we weren't as good as we thought we were. And, being in this position for a little while now, I'd kind of seen that was going to happen, but, you kind of hope you can avoid it. But yeah, I mean, it's a very talented group this year, but like I said, we can certainly be immature at times, and that's kind of, hit us in the back and hit us in the ass a little bit. We hit a tough rut in the middle of that year, but it kind of woke the guys up a little bit, and we've finished strong here, and yeah, I mean, a couple bounces here and there, and you're talking about probably a 13-win team, 13, 14 wins, so but that's how it is, but, we typically go for young, inexperienced. That's our formula: young, inexperienced, sprinkle in vets at the right spot. Hoping that those young guys turn into vets by the end of the year. But our ceiling is higher than yours. That's our goal. Because some teams that are more vet oriented, they kind of hit the ground running. They may not go through as many bumps and lumps as you do. But your ceiling is what it is. And at that end of the year, we just hope we hope our young guys be experienced, but we hope that ceiling that they have is, and we feel, that, okay, so I signed a young guy, might not have experience, but his ceiling is higher than what you got on the other side, on the other team over there. Your team is full of vets, they got experience. They're going to come out the gate. They're going to start hot. They're going to be, pretty sound throughout the year. But when it comes to the end of the year where everybody's got some experience, is your ceiling as high as ours? No, but we hope to, have to execute that day. And we hope that that talent really kind of shines. And you see it in certain moments. And yet in last week, those moments, towards the end of the game, it came through for us. We had some big plays by some different guys, and yeah, you're starting to see the potential of the group is essentially what I'm trying to say. And you hope that potential kicks in at the right time of the year. And, it's starting to happen a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly kicked in last week. A playoff game on the road against a team that I think was 13-4. And you guys are down 16 points at one point in the second half, 14 points in the fourth quarter, and yet you're able to pull ahead, and then you thwart a last-minute drive, and you're able to celebrate the win. What's it like for you sitting out there? Because you played, you had been a player in your day, but now you're kind of in a different position. How antsy was that fourth quarter for you? What was it like? I imagine some nail-biting time for you as kind of a guy who's invested so much in putting this team together, but ultimately when they step on the field, you don't have any control at all.
Yeah, you just gotta trust. You gotta trust. You gotta trust what you put out there. You gotta trust what you put together, and you just gotta trust that the work that you put in is gonna come through when you need it to. And we work extremely hard here. And, we demand a lot of these guys, there's a certain standard here, in terms of what we feel like we should accomplish and how we should move on a day-to-day basis and the results. And we expect results here. Expecting is one thing, doing is another, so, yeah, but yeah, I mean, we never, I guess we never wavered, it was a very calm sideline, as calm as a, professional football sideline is, I mean, there are moments back there where, sometimes, things need to be said. And, yeah, moments happen, but, we were very calm, but, we might seem young and we might, from a staff standpoint, we might seem young, there might be new faces here, but everybody's got experience, and everybody's been in different situations. So, I mean, for us, it was nothing new. We had, our offense was really rolling, and we knew if we could just keep it to a one-score game and get to that end of the game, just being one score, we had a great chance because, we have that pedigree in the right positions. I mean, Alejandro, he's been there and he's done that. He's cool as the other side of the pillow. Um, and in my opinion, he's the best quarterback in the league. He's the best quarterback in the game. If I had to go out and win one game, and I had to, I could only take one quarterback and ride with that kid. I'm going with that kid. He's just got a coolness about him, a calmness about him. Um, and he's not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody here is perfect, but he was damn near perfect last week. Outside of a player too, but yeah, we just felt like we had experience in this situation, and they did it. And we feel like if you're able to keep it to a one-score game, like I said, that experience will come through, and that calmness will come through, and those intangibles will start to stick out a little bit, and you see one team folding and the other one didn't, and that's why we're here.
Yeah, and here you are. You play Friday night, so it's a little bit of a short week, having played on Saturday. So you kept the team on the road, traveled from Texas up to, luxurious and tropical Green Bay.
It's like Aruba out here. Have you been here?
I've never been.
Yeah, going to the beach later on. Yeah, it's a good spot.
Take some good photos.
No, hey, in all honesty, it is a beautiful place. These people are absolutely wonderful out here. Very nice. We come here often. We've been coming here every year, and the Tranquilers do an absolutely wonderful job with this organization, and they're just so well run, and they got a great staff, and it is a great place. You got Lambeau down the street, very historic. They keep it. It seems like every year we come here, they continuously build around the stadium and develop, and yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, so it's a team, the Green Bay Blizzard, you're very familiar with. You played them twice. You opened the season winning another exciting game up there, and then you kind of lost a heartbreaker at the Songus in the middle of the year. The one thing I look at, though, is the game you won, you had Alejandro, who you call the best quarterback in the league. The game you lost at the Songus, you didn't have him. Do you expect his presence to be the difference if you guys are able to pull it off on Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, we're not doing it without. It doesn't matter who else is out there. We're and I don't want to say it like that. We have confidence in everybody that we have here, but he's just such a large part of what we do. I just, yeah, I mean, just, what he brings to the table, it's hard to replace. It really is. And just, the decisiveness that he plays with, the timing that he plays with. The confidence that he inserts, in that unit, and just, the ability to maneuver around different situations and grasp the moment, have the moment not be too big for him. You're talking about a championship MVP, he's done that already. So, the one thing, I mean, we have Jimmy Robinson as well, and we have a wonderful running game, so his passing numbers aren't going to be, just astronomical, from a statistical standpoint, even though I think he has maybe 40 something touchdowns to 6 interceptions or something like that, which is ridiculous. But, I mean, he's not going to be, putting up these astronomical numbers like some of these other quarterbacks do in the league. We want to be well balanced, so statistically, he's not going to, shine, like some of these other guys do who just pretty much, command 90 to 95% of their team's offense. But we don't want that because, nothing is guaranteed in football. It's a very violent game. So we like to be balanced and have multiple options and not really rely on one person to, really, decide our fate one way or another. So, but yeah, I just, that kid is our leader, and he's just been wonderful for us. But I expect him to play, obviously, a large role in this game. He's gonna, it's different when he's out there. I mean, but he did play the first game, and we did have to, have the largest comeback in team history that opening weekend. We were down 18 points in the second half. So, and like I say, I mean, that's a really good team over there. Definitely a step up from last week in Frisco, and yeah, it's going to be a great environment too. I mean, their fans show up. They get loud, they get into the game. They're going to play a factor. They got a great fan base over there, and yeah, we're excited though, but we're ready for the moment. It's I don't want to say laid back over here, but we're a confident group, and we know what's in that locker room. Even though we lost some games this year, it's we know what's in that locker room. I mean, that's essentially what I can say. And yeah, so we're excited to go.
So what's striking to me is that you talked about the skill level you have on offense, and every team, it's a wide open league. The style of football and indoor football lends itself to that. And yet the two teams that are going to be on the field Friday night are two of the top three defenses in the league, the entire league, not just the Eastern Conference. So what do you anticipate? Is this going to be a defensive struggle, kind of like what we saw at the Songus, or more of a wide open offensive? If you had to put on your prognosticator cap, besides a Pirates victory, what are you thinking we're going to see?
It's interesting because each game has its own, I guess, character, so to speak. Just you could have two teams performing one way all year, and then you come out on game day, and it's just a completely different ball game. So, but I do expect the defense has been very consistent this year. Our defenses have been inconsistent at times. Our offense has been inconsistent at times. Our special teams have been inconsistent at times. But we just hope that we start becoming consistent at the right time of the year. And as I alluded to, it seems like, we're starting to, hopefully hit our stride here. I mean, but yeah, I do expect a tough, gritty football game. They're going to come out fired up. They're going to be physical. One thing that they do, they don't hurt themselves. They don't make too many mistakes. So they're going to, that alone, will keep you in a game. That alone, so. It's going to be a very competitive game. I do feel, our offense is starting to click a little bit, so, and not to say that they hadn't in the past, but I just, whether I'm wording it right or not, I just sense a different level of execution and I just feel like, we're starting to move a little different on that side of the ball. So, I'm hoping it's not a low scoring game. I do feel like our offense is starting to, hit its groove a little bit. And I think our defense, is going to come out and play like they got something to prove, because they are, still kind of waiting for that unit to really kind of, take over a game. And, and as well as they did in the last two series, that last game, there's some things that we need to clean up, because prior to those last two series, we had made plays, but we made a lot of mistakes, and maybe not from a schematic standpoint, but just from a penalty standpoint, from an infraction standpoint. I mean, you're talking 10 penalties to 3 last week, and the majority of those on the defensive side of the ball. So those are the things that we got to clean up, but if we can do that, and I know that side of the ball is, they want to come out and they want to do extremely well. So. I think we're going to come out fired up. We're going to come out, like we want like we want to compete for a championship, and we want to be in Vegas in a couple weeks, and yeah. So in terms of the exact character, of the game, it's tough to tell. The start, I feel like the way both teams start have a large part in that, and in kind of establishing the mentality of the game and just the flow of it. But yeah, I expect a competitive game. I know that.
Well, it definitely will be fun for us to watch. We'll be tuned in here on all our different formats where we can watch it. Friday night, Massachusetts Pirates versus the Green Bay Blizzards for the conference championship and a chance to play in the championship game, as you mentioned, Jawad, in Las Vegas. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us. I know you got a lot to do today to get this team ready. 2 games till game time. So thank you. And hey, best of luck Friday night. I hope we can keep this going and chat with another member of the Pirates next week.
Oh yeah, yeah. You better be sitting in that seat next week. Well, I'm telling you that much. We'll be stay ready, man. Stay ready, and let's have some fun back in Lowell, huh?
Sounds like it. Yeah, hey, we
get a little celebration going back there, man. Let's get some people excited.
I love it.
That's what we want, So, hopefully we can get that done and go have some good times out there in the Mill City and yeah, let's celebrate a little bit. Knock on wood.
I'll start working on the parade route in my head. I don't want to go public with it yet. So
please do that. That's something that maybe. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. But we'll talk about it when it happens. So.
All right. Jawad Yatim, the owner, president, general manager of the Massachusetts Pirates. Thanks so much. Good luck, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir, boss. Thank you for having me now. You take care.
Thank you. All right. That is Jawad Yatim joining us here on the Zoom line from his hotel in Green Bay, where the Massachusetts Pirates are preparing to take on the Blizzard for the conference championship. Check it out Friday night. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Till next time, stay safe.